This is where we left off, Westport Beach. We're just south of Rockport, the southern end of the California Lost Coast. This is the point where the road goes inland and merges with the 101, but we are going to take an older alignment. It is called Avenue of the Giants, and it goes through the heart of Humboldt Redwoods State Park. Today, we are going to walk among the giants and then back on the coast, all the way to the Oregon border.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Here we are, the beginning of the Lost Coast. It turns out it would have been too expensive to continue building the road along this rugged coastline, so inland we go. And we won't see the Pacific again for about 100 miles. But don't despair, this is actually a welcome change of scenery as we immerse ourselves in the Redwood Forest, home to some of the tallest trees in the world. Let's stop here real quick. Okay, what is this? Hillsgrove Wood Products. That is one big tree. Well, we're gonna continue. This looks abandoned. We were going up for a while back there, up to 1100 feet at Hales Grove. And now we're going back down, but not by much. Finally, an unobstructed view. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like trees, but I get a little uneasy when I can't see the horizon for too long. Is it me or is it a little smoky? Whoa, drive-through tree road. Let's check that out. I wonder if this is a good idea. You think clearance might be an issue with the trailer in tow? Well, we'll soon find out. It is $10 to go into the park and drive through the tree, and they have this alternate route and parking for oversized vehicles. Yeah, this is where I parked. And we're going to go see the drive-through tree. But yeah, it is a pretty massive tree, for sure. This giant coast redwood is called the Chandalier Tree because of the shape of its limbs, and it has been here as a tourist attraction since the 1930s. The tree, however, has been here much longer, over 2,000 years. Carving these tunnels, by the way, really bad for the health of the trees, so it is no longer done. Actually, some of them have fallen. There are very few of them still standing. Yeah, it is the drive-through tree. I meant to do something since the trailer doesn't fit through here. We're gonna walk, and we're gonna make it the walk-through tree. How about that? I don't know, it's $10 to come in here, and I don't know. The jury's still out whether. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it.
The verdict's in.
To have this huge trunk, tree bark here. And they're pretty huge. I mean, this it's probably my height, so it's over 6 feet wide. A lot of graffiti on the wood. Yeah. And then they have some wood art here.
Mira, alguien le trató de agarrar allí.
Okay, here's the deal. If you have $10 burning a hole in your pocket and you've always wanted to drive through a tree, yeah, sure, why not? But otherwise, you know, there's not a whole lot here to see besides the tree and some other wood carvings, and they have a gift shop. It is clearly a very popular attraction, and I guess if you plan to spend the whole day here with the family, do a picnic, yeah, sure, it is very pretty and educational. We are now on the 101, which is called Redwood Highway in these parts, and we're going to be here for about 30 miles until we reach the southern entrance of the Avenue of the Giants. It is a very pretty drive. Okay, I take that back. It's not just a pretty drive, it is a beautiful drive. Well, that 4-lane stretch didn't last too long now, did it? Here's the one log house, and we'll see many more of these attractions touting the large diameter of redwood trees. This here, by the way, Richardson Grove State Park, and they even have a campground, but it is early in the day. Some of these trees almost the width of the truck, and we're not even in the Avenue of the Giants yet. I knew Bigfoot was bound to make an appearance sooner or later. And we're back on 4 lanes. I guess they had to make the road narrower back there, so they wouldn't have to cut any more trees. Here we are, Avenue of the Giants. Woo! Chimney Tree. Let's see if we can stop. This, by the way, a little more touristy than I was expecting. Still not over the top, but I was expecting it to be actually less developed. Here we go. Okay, it is called the Living Chimney Tree. Let's see what this is. Oh wow, we are inside the tree. Oh wow. And they have a restaurant. Well, it is coffee time here on the side of the road. Well, had some very needed coffee. And now we're going to continue on the Avenue of the Giants. Definitely more developed than I was led to believe by watching YouTube videos. You know, none of these places have like super RV friendly parking, but I'm just gonna leave it here for a few minutes. I have no idea how long. It's a little trail, I guess. Franklin K. Lane Grove, and we're gonna walk among the giants. The magic of the redwoods. And you are here. It's a short trail, I guess. It is apparently only half a mile in a loop, mostly flat, so piece of cake. It kind of looks like one of the opening scenes in the movie E.T. Okay, this one is massive here. See, I don't know if it gives you an idea of scale. Me against the tree.
I don't know if you can get the same effect on camera, but in person, this is quite the experience. Lots of old fallen trees.
Another massive one. Not quite enough for a car to drive through, but...
The forest almost has this prehistoric quality to it, like you would expect an ancient creature to stumble upon us at any given time.
I don't know if you can tell on camera. Those trees are like probably the equivalent of a, I don't know, 20-story building.
More like 30, actually.
It's really quite a sight. Okay, yeah, let's just put it in perspective. This bark right here, it's taller than me. I'm 5'10", so check it out. It's a hollow tree. Here we go. You can't see it much. Can't see much in there, so I'm kind of afraid to stay too long in there. It's kind of dark. There could be bats. I don't know. Look at the roots on this thing. Probably 12 feet wide at the bottom.
Looking up, you almost feel insignificant, diminutive, in the presence of such magnificent life forms.
It looks like there are several bifurcating trails, so maybe this is the way I was supposed to come back. I don't know, I just didn't want to get lost in the forest. In any case, let's go back, let's go see the next point of interest. This was really cool, and I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, actually. I thought it was gonna be kind of lame, but it is not. It's totally legit. These trees. It's one of those things that maybe the camera doesn't capture the scale, but you feel really small standing next to one of these. Look at that. Let's see what this one's all about. By the way, this is called the Governor William D. Stevens Loop Trail. And I wonder why all these trees so many are hollow inside.
Well, apparently the main cause is fire. The inside of the tree will burn out and rot, while the outside stays alive, kind of like a fire resistance mechanism of sorts.
Well, here we are. Loop trail, 0.7 miles. We might not do the whole thing.
Let's turn back and drive to the visitor center. Let's find out if there is something we haven't seen yet, and then we'll continue. I mean, We could spend days here and not see a fraction of the forest. There are so many pullouts and trails, campgrounds, all full by the way, but I imagine most of the trails are going to be very similar to what we've already seen. And let's face it, today we're just here to see the highlights. Here we are, Humboldt Redwoods State Park.
It's Smokey's birthday. Okay, here are all the rings. The Vikings discovered North America. 1096. Okay. So a printing press invented. Here we go. The tree was this big. Pilgrims. It's pretty neat. So this tree dates back to 912 AD. Each one of these rings is a year. So I'm not gonna count them, but I believe them.
Can I stop here? Nah, not enough room. Let's stop one last time. Check it out, another hollow tree.
I guess it is too dark for the camera to see inside the tree up there, but yeah. This is probably the largest one. Besides the driving through tree, this is probably the largest one I've seen. And it's quite impressive. Alright, let's continue the journey. I'm a little tired, I'll be honest. Let's go towards the Pacific again. And we'll find somewhere to boondock. There's a casino, but I would rather find something with a view, but we'll see, we'll see.
Here we are, they even have their own gas station. This is Bear River Casino Resort, and they do allow overnight parking for free. So here is where we're going to spend the night.
Before we continue, here we are at the casino. They probably have very fast Wi-Fi internet, also very fast insecure Wi-Fi internet, and that's why I have an app here called Shark Vpn. And with this app, what a VPN does, it creates a secure, private, encrypted connection between your device and the internet, so nobody can steal your passwords or hack you or anything like that. And whenever you connect to an insecure Wi-Fi, you don't know what's happening in that connection. That is the primary function of a VPN. Also, a VPN, for example, you can change your location virtually. Let's say you are in Canada or some other country and you want to watch your favorite Netflix show that is only available in the United States, or you want to watch your local news or the football game. You can change your location virtually. You just go here and you say you are in Spain or the United Kingdom, or in my case, I want to say I'm in Miami if I'm somewhere else. And essentially, you are virtually teleported to the location of your choice. That's a great feature. It also has this clean web feature that blocks ads, trackers, malware. So, you know, if you are going to connect to an insecure Wi-Fi, do yourself a favor, use a VPN. Anyways, I want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this episode, and I have a deal for you guys. If you go to surfshark.deals/myrv and you put promo code MyRV at checkout, you will get a discount. Now, it is morning in Lolita, California. On the road again. Well, good morning from Lolita, California. It is Sunday, July 28th, 2019. Let me tell you, in the middle of July, it feels kind of weird to have temperatures in the 50s, but I guess that's the way it is here. It's kind of a... Let me get moving. It's kind of a cloudy, foggy morning, but according to the weather service, this marine layer is supposed to burn off within the next hour or two. Quiet night here at the casino. And today we continue to the north. Probably we'll make it to Oregon today, which is really cool. New state for my map.
Someone recommended I visit this cheese factory here in Lolita, and that's what we're going to do first. It is right here to the left.
It's not here. It's right across the street. Let's check it out. It's called the Lolita Cheese Factory.
Super nice folks, the owners, and they've got all kinds of cheeses and the chocolates here at the store. Through a glass, you can get a view of the factory, which sadly is not operating at this moment.
Alright, very nice folks in there. I got some cheese and some chocolate because they also carry some chocolate from somewhere here down in Eureka. And 35 flavors of cheese they make there. That was very good. Very smoky cheddars. But I opted for the Havarti because I'm a Havarti kind of guy. Let me put this in the fridge and we continue. All right, next stop, Eureka, California. And we might stop at a place to have a breakfast, or at this point probably early lunch, called Samoa. Someone recommended it.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Eel River Drive.
Here we are arriving at the nice city of Eureka, California. Every time I see one of these car washes, I wonder if Minitini will fit, but no question here. They have a large vehicle and boat wash area here to the right. Isn't that nice?
Eureka car stereo here. That's a business destined to disappear. Oh, another car wash. All new cars, the radio is so integrated with the system, at least in this Chevy. You couldn't put an aftermarket stereo in this car. We're in historic Old Town Eureka, and they did have RV parking back there. There was a sign that said RV parking.
We are now on the Samoa Bridge, which is really 3 bridges in one, crossing Humboldt Bay onto the Samoa Peninsula. One down, 2 to go. Here we are on the 3rd and final span. Why are we coming to Samoa, you might ask? Well, there's a famous restaurant here, historic actually, which someone recommended at the Petaluma meetup a couple of days ago.
Okay, here we are. This is Samoa Cookhouse, and apparently it is very famous.
Inside here they have this small museum that you can see while you wait, and the thing is,
This is the last remaining lumber camp-style cookhouse in the American West. It opened in 1893 as a dining facility for the employees working the lumber mills, and then it finally opened to the public in the 1960s. In lumber camp style, there's only one fixed menu per day, and today it is French toast, sausage, and eggs. Oh, and biscuits. And I happen to like all three, so we're in luck. And they sit you family style in communal tables. Alright, Samoa cookhouse, pretty good. And it's interesting, they have a special, fixed menu. Today was French toast and sausage and scrambled eggs. And biscuits and gravy, of course, and they give you orange juice and coffee for $13.95, which turns out to be $15.03 after taxes. Service a little sluggish. I don't know if it was that she forgot about me, that I was there by myself, or that it's strategy to so you digest your biscuits and you're less hungry for the actual breakfast. But overall, cool place. I liked it. Now let's continue. The sun's coming out, so it's gonna be a nice day. Let's continue going north. Very popular place. As you can see, the parking lot is completely full, and they do welcome RVers if they can fit, I guess. Because right now I don't think they can accommodate for too many more people here. But by the way, did I mention?
600 feet, turn right onto Vance Avenue.
Did I mention it's all you can eat? Yeah, it is all you can eat here at the Samoa Cookhouse, and they do have lunch and dinner. Today they have fried chicken for dinner. I would have loved to try that, but I'm here for breakfast, so. Oh well, the sunshine didn't last long. Well, it comes and goes. Oh no, what is this? This here is called Humboldt Lagoon State Park, and there are 3 lagoons, and while the view may not be so great today, we're going to stop here by the smallest and northernmost lagoon, creatively named Freshwater Lagoon. I can use a break. This beach, I don't really know what it's called, but I am sure it would be beautiful on a clear day. Maybe it will clear up in an hour or 2. That over there, by the way, it's called Freshwater Rocks. Well, what do you think? Kind of creepy and foggy. We're here by the Freshwater Lagoon, Freshwater Rocks, which back there you can kind of barely see them. A couple of seagulls roaming around, but well, there's a bunch of seagulls over there. Let's go scare them. No, not really. But yeah, visibility is not great. I'm hoping this marine layer starts burning up soon, so I can show you the views, the sights. It's still pretty thick right now. There, now we can see them more clearly. The Freshwater Rocks. Beautiful flowers. Tsunami, huh? I decided to walk across the highway, and here's the Freshwater Lagoon. Very creepy with this heavy fog. Alright, let's continue. Let's check out Redwoods National Park Visitor Center. It is less than a mile away. Well, this is where am I? This is the Redwood National Park here, and I asked for some information, and there's a Scenic Byway, or Parkway as they call it, that we're going to take now. So more big trees for you guys. The main thing we're going to do here, we're going to drive the Newton B. Drury Scenic Parkway and stop to see a 1,500-year-old, almost 286-foot tall, Coast Redwood Tree, with a whopping 23.7 feet diameter. Yep, that's over 7 meters for those of you in the metric world. Take a look at the height of those trees coming up ahead. Alright, let's park right here. Oh, here we are. Let's go explore. I like that. It's not a slow car, it's a fast house. Let's do it. I think this is even more impressive than the Avenue of the Giant. Like this tree right here. Yeah, it is something absolutely majestic. Once again, I get that prehistoric rainforest feel, with the overgrown ferns and the giant redwoods. This is interesting. A tree growing on top of a fallen tree. There it is, the big tree. What we really came to see. I'm thinking this area might be even more impressive than the Avenue of the Giants. Well, that was a very cool little walk here, a walk in the woods, like Mr. Bryson would say. And glad I discovered it. Actually, thanks to the ranger at the visitor center. Otherwise, this was not part of the plan. Have you all seen enough trees yet? Well, there's one more thing. It is more like a Redwoods theme park. It's a little further north, and a bunch of people mentioned it too. You know, I'm starting to crowdsource my travels, going more and more based on your recommendations on social media. There's that fog again. We must be getting close to the coast. Here we are. I see RV parking here to the left. Trees of Mystery. Probably our last attraction involving redwoods and giant trees. They have a giant Paul Bunyan there. The end of the trail. If you remember, we saw a similar statue back in Oklahoma City. Well, there he is. He even has a mechanical hand that moves. He waves his hand and everything. I'm not bad. Believe it or not, I had never really heard about this Paul Bunyan character until a certain famous YouTuber from Washington mentioned him.
Welcome to the premier California Redwood attraction on the North Coast. Why don't you put in $1 and let old Paul Bunyan use my bare strength to crush you a souvenir pin? Come on, don't be shy.
Yeah, it's a gift shop. They have all kinds of stuff for you to spend money on. Oh, that's a cool wine bottle holder. Let's go get our tickets for the Sky Trail, which is the main thing here. $18. Okay, this has tourist trap written all over it, but you guys recommended it. Let's do it. Sky Trail 0.4 miles. Oh, grist mill. They have all kinds of trees with funny names like the elephant tree. And while these trees are large,
At least this one's not as massive as the ones we saw earlier. Okay, now we're getting to the real tall ones. Here we go, 297 feet. Okay, this is actually interesting. This one is called the Cathedral Tree. People actually come here to get married. I think it kind of looks like the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
There's a long line for the SkyTrail.
Oh, but that's not the worst part. There's no internet whatsoever, no cellular coverage to keep us entertained while we wait. So it is gonna feel much longer than it really is. On a positive, if inefficient note, I get a car all for myself so I can film out any window, anytime.
Well, here we are inside the SkyTrail, and we're gonna go up into the Redwoods.
It is all very nice, except that the windows are a little dirty, so when the sun hits them, you can't really see much. Here's a better view. Right. There's supposed to be a spectacular view from up here. We are supposed to be able to see all the way to the Pacific Ocean, but there's that pesky marine layer again.
There comes my ride.
Oh, there's restrooms.
Alright, SkyTrail, here we go. Now we're going down.
You know, a little bit of Windex wouldn't hurt. Well, found a window that is slightly cracked open, so I can get a much better picture. And guess what? This thing was made in Switzerland. They seem to be really good at making these type of gondolas in the Alps, so this must have been a piece of cake for them. A bit slow, are we?
Well, the line is even longer now. Alright, in 1995 there was a fire. Okay. If we didn't have the Avenue of the Giants, and if you have children, small children, you know, little kids, yes, come here. They have you know, a lot of signs, you know, like different trees with different names, and you know, they explain things fairly well. The gondola trip is kind of lame, especially today that there's that marine layer and there's no view. Did you know there are 3 types of redwoods? You know, signs like that that give you a little bit of extra information that perhaps I didn't have. That might make it worth the $18 to come in here. Like I learned that, like, when they have trees like this, it's like a cathedral, you know. We are taking reservations for weddings when this display is ready 600 years from now. So I guess that tells you in 600 years it's going to look like that other cathedral we saw down there. Also, by the way, if you have AT&T, no cell phone signal whatsoever up here. So if you're stuck waiting in line for 15 minutes waiting for the gondola, probably all your entertainment are some other tourists talking loudly behind you in some Slavic language. So I think towards the end I started to catch a couple of words. Alright, let's continue. I don't think I'm gonna make it to Oregon today. We might stop just before Oregon.
They have lots of redwood carvings all over the place, and they talk.
If Mother Nature solved the problem for them.
Yeah, lots and lots of wood art. This one I like.
Hey, it's fine. Don't listen to me. I am not the target audience here. The little people are.
Ooh, Paul's girlfriend. And there's Paul greeting us visitors.
Ask for information regarding the fishing conditions.
Here they have another one of those trees with the dates, and we exit through the gift shop. How appropriate.
Yeah, exit through the gift shop.
Fresh fudge, anyone?
Oh, there's Paul once again. I take it all back. This place is cool. And the end of the trail, remember, we saw a similar sculpture, much bigger, back in Oklahoma City. Okay, let's call it a slightly Disney-fied version of the Redwoods.
Actually, for $18 is not bad at all. If I sounded a little grumpy earlier, that's because dirty glasses are kind of a pet peeve of mine. Check it out! We're back on the Pacific. Yeah, you know, I gotta stop for a minute.
This was definitely worth the stop, huh?
Yes, this is such a beautiful coastline, and I hear it gets even better in Oregon. Actually, it's kind of starting to look more and more like the Oregon coast.
Well, I'm gonna skip Crescent City this time around. I'm gonna keep going. I think there's a casino that takes overnight parking, and that's where I'm gonna try to boondock tonight. One more boondocking night, and tomorrow we'll pay for proper camping in Oregon. Because we're right there. We're like half an hour from Oregon.
It's the Lucky 7 Casino. They have some dedicated RV parking here in the back.
Well, we've got a full house here at the casino.
Let's go for a little walk. Maybe we can see the sunset. By the way, I checked in with security as it is customary, and they were super nice. It is going to be one of those perfect Pacific sunsets, isn't it?
Well, once again, good morning, and I have my emergency brake on. Lucky 7 Casino here, very nice, very friendly. You can stay up to 3 nights. They don't really make you fill out any forms or anything like that. So, and as you can see, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. is it 9? 8 pull-through sites here. Very RV friendly. It's a little off level, that's my only complaint about it. And
Head west on North Indian Road toward US 101 South.
And since I didn't feel like unhitching and all that, you know, that's I could have leveled it. Well, we're going into Oregon today. For the first time on this trip, actually a new state for my map.
In 600 feet, turn right onto US 101 North.
And we are like 3 miles away from Oregon. And it's kind of, you know, that
Continue on US 101 North
morning
3 miles.
marine layer you get in this area. But still, I'm gonna try to take a nice picture with the Oregon sign. There it is. I almost missed it. I'm gonna have to back up a little here, pushing Mini Tina the trailer in the process, and take my picture. And that's all. Until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road. I'm riding in